So it's just a huge technical achievement.
Yes, obviously, you know, and that's the thing about Uncharted. I mean, you kind of know what you're going to get, but you also never know what you're going to get because of the set-piece moments and the environments. Talk about the specifics of this environment and why it's unique for the franchise.
Okay. Yeah, it's a cruise ship, so it was a pretty big. In terms of technology, it was very challenging because I mean the entire ship is moving. So like Drake is in that cruise ship where like he's like looking for something in the cruise ship, obviously, and he has to go just through the entire ship, and it's gonna be pretty impressive actually. Like the fact like the ship is gonna just turn over at some point, so yeah, I mean this is what we're saying now.
And obviously, we're going through a scenario here where Nathan's not trying to be very loud. Talk a little bit about the story point, what's happening right now.
Yeah, this takes place about midway through the game, and you know, we don't want to get into too much spoiler territory here,
right.
So we don't want to tell you exactly what he's going after on this cruise ship. But we can just refer to it as a MacGuffin, and you know, he's trying to get into the hold to find it, and at that point, the catastrophic damage occurs, and the whole thing capsizes.
Right. And obviously, the tactics that there's far-reaching combat tactics and stealth tactics in this franchise. Anything new that we could be looking forward to in the way that we interact with enemies?
Oh yeah, lots of new combat. Basically, we've got this new brute type of enemy who's much larger than Drake, and when you get into combat with him, you have to take on brand new tactics. You can also start to use environmental objects to improvise as weapons and pick up bottles and sort of turn into a barroom brawl.
Obviously, in Uncharted 2, I think it was a pinnacle of storytelling for a lot of people to show how games could be so cinematic. What did you learn, though, from Uncharted 2 that you wanted to apply, that you weren't able to do in Uncharted 2, that you wanted to apply here in Uncharted 3? And if you were able to implement it, tell us what we would see.
Well, from a tech standpoint, this demonstrates one of the new technologies we really wanted to push, which is our water technology. We wanted to have fluid dynamics and actually be able to fill rooms and have water rushing down halls and actually affecting the environment and the characters in it.
So we can't, obviously that being such a big thing, we could expect more than just one water level in the game, I would say, right?
That is a safe bet, yeah.
You're going to see a lot of water and a lot of fire, too.
A lot of water and lots of fire. We've seen the fire. It looks beautiful. Talk a little bit about what those things add to the dynamics of the gameplay that you're looking to implement.
Yeah, well, it's always about the narrative and putting Drake into interesting situations that sort of test his abilities, and other characters as well. We're always trying to, you know, pull out different aspects of Drake's personality by the different kind of characters that he has to interact with.
Yes, and speaking of those characters, obviously we were introduced early on to a little bit more of a cerebral type of a combatant in the game. Can you talk a little bit about who the main antagonist is?
Yeah, her name is Catherine Marlowe, and yeah, she's basically the leader of this sort of cult sect that dates back to Elizabethan times, and they're sort of at odds against each other because they're fighting over the ring that Drake has around his neck, Sir Francis Drake's ring. They both feel they're the rightful owners.
Now here's some interaction with water. We saw just a little bit. Talk a little bit about how much the water is going to actually impact gameplay, or is it mostly used as set-piece moments?
So it's going to change the entire level. I mean, it's filling the hole right now. I mean, and so much water is going to be in there that it's going to just, everything's going to tip over. So it's changing the dynamic of the gameplay because it's changing the place completely. And so we were trying just to really make it as dynamic as possible. I mean, there's a lot of computation going on behind this, obviously, and so. And as you can see, it's just, and you can also now, for the first time, you can go underwater too. And you can just, then now you can swim, which we were not doing a lot before.
We will actually have combat from water. Drake can fire his weapon and be fired at in the water.
Water combat. Yeah. Obviously, I don't think people realize how technically difficult this is to pull off. Can you give us a little bit of an insight there?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we started working on like since on day one, pretty much. I mean, it involves like a lot of people. People are gonna just run the physics for the water. People are gonna make the effects, and all the art is just to make it look good. It's a very challenging thing, and we don't see the ocean here. We were saying earlier, we have just to also compute like the waves and how like they're gonna curve, and so all those things add up together just to do something right.
Obviously, Uncharted 3 is placing a huge emphasis on its multiplayer component this time around. It's a big deal for you guys. Can we expect to see water in the multiplayer aspects as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, we will, and that combat we were talking about from water will happen in multiplayer too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's huge news. And actually, we have some questions from Justine over in the tweet seat. What do you got?
We do. We have one here from SilverHage86 on Twitter. and they are asking, is there going to be triangle drama like in Uncharted 2? Surely hope so, because that made the game so much more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, if you saw the trailer we showed yesterday, both Chloe and Elena make their return in this game, and so that's gonna, have some interesting dynamics to it. But actually, we're really focusing on Drake and Sully's relationship this time around. It's sort of a bromance. We want to find out, what makes that relationship tick, how far they can sort of push each other, and what the limits to their trust is.
You have another question, Justine?
Of course I do. Prezer0 on Twitter is asking, will Uncharted 3 be more co-op driven?
We're definitely going to have some more co-op than on Uncharted 2. It's not based on the single player game, but it's like it's parallel stories, and we're going to just try to be really bring the cinematic experience you have in the single player game into the co-op experience. So a lot more co-op on Uncharted 3.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for those questions from Twitter, Justine. And you want to stick around, that's going to do it for Uncharted 3 right now, but coming up after the break, Reggie from Nintendo will be here, and Hulk Hogan is in the house. You won't want to miss it. Stick around. GT E3 continues next.